slum dwellers in Dhaka city. So this is one of another important areas of slum dwellers and out migration, and in and out both migration, I understand. So over to you, Karishma Amjad ma'am. Please share your papers. You have 8 minutes to share yours. Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to share my screen.
You have a presentation. You can just share. Yes. Start sharing.
Yeah. Honorable Chair and respected audience, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Karishma Amjad, PhD Fellow, Institute of Social Welfare and Research, University of Dhaka. My paper title is Factors of Climate Migration of Poor Slum Dwellers in Dhaka City. And Bangladesh faces significant challenge in adapting to the impact of climate change. Its vulnerability is caused not only by its biophysical factors but also its socio-economic factors. It is estimated that every year 30,000 to 40,000 new migrants come to Dhaka from different parts of the country and mainly reside in more than 5,000 slums across the city. Climate migrants still living in urban slums to search better and secure life. But urban slums located mostly in low-lying environmental hazards are coupled with inadequate facilities like food, shelter, sanitation, healthcare. This makes their life even worse. And I can change it. And this is the literature review. I want to skip it and I want to go to the next slide, that is study focus. To identify the factors of migration of poor migrant from rural areas to Dhaka city and to find out the root cause of their migration that pushed them to migrant. And this is the methodology of my study, that is both qualitative and quantitative study are used here, and main research site is Coral Islam Mohakhali and another one is Jilpar Islam Shahjatpur. You can see here the location map and the study area picture, and this main data collection technique is purposive sampling, and 150 participant climate migrant and 150 participant non-climate migrant for comparison. The respondents' age is 20 years to 50 years, and main data collection technique is face-to-face interview using semi-structured interview schedule, data analysis applying statistical technique and frequency distribution, and data collected data processed with the help of Excel 2016 version, and data presentation, multiverse tables and figures, budget, etc. And 5 respondents interviewed as an individual case to present here. And I'm going to the findings of the study that maximum 40 to 45 respondents migrate from river erosion, followed by cyclone, and then no agriculture work available during the off-season longer period. 92% of the respondents, climate migrants, lost their income source after climate effect, and 89% in occupation, 86% lost their production, whereas 77% house and 69% cultivated land were damaged, and 42% lost their living land during disaster. And most of the respondents did not get any support from GO and NGO after climate effect in the place of origin. And work availability and team network played a very important role for choosing migration place or city. And day by day, the proportion of migration increased for the climate change. The number of respondents were the same for who migrated 1 to 5 years ago or 6 to 10 years ago. And there are a few factors like social, cultural, religious, political, etc. to drive climate and non-climate migrant to the city. However, poverty and unemployment are the main factors where social, political, religious factors are very minimal influence on climate migrant. There's a significant influence on non-climate migrant like pressurization of politics, social inequity, and religious violence. And according to push factor indicators, the study found unemployment, low wage, and work unavailability are the main economic factors for climate migrants in the place of origin. Besides, according to the pull factors indicators, the study found demand for labor, high wages, and better service are the main economic factor for climate migrants in the place of destination. And I think you have an idea about push and pull factor, and I think all of you have an idea about that livelihood pentagon, that human capital, natural capital, physical capital, social capital, financial capital. And according to this livelihood pentagon and the data from the study area, I want to show you the livelihood framework of climate migrant in the city slum. That is physical capital, primary poor slum dwellers get shelter and only some of infrastructural service after migration. However, they do not have any property in city slum, and human capital, most of them have ability to do any job, able to adapt in current situation. However, they do not get enough health care facility, proper nutrition, standard education and training facilities. Natural capital, mainly poor slum dwellers do not have existing land, aquatic resource in a particular habitat or ecosystem of the life is different from other people of the city. And social capital, most of them get relation of trust and mutual support from their neighbors and known people from their place of origin. Few of them have local institutional connection for social sustain. And financial capital, 30 to 36% migrant earn more than 10,000 taka in a month but cannot save any money because of high price of their essential good. And this is the assistance which help lot to migrant because of climate change. Most of the respondents believe help from GEO and NGO in disaster time, rehabilitation service and grants in aid by GEO, the basic resistance which help not to migrant with family because of climate change. In addition, some of the respondents have give priority to get help from GEO and NGO in disaster of time, remodel agriculture, job opportunity and availability of medical facilities. And this is the opinion about the development of their livelihood. Most of the respondents think that grants in aid by GEO, disaster pre, post and
we have 2 more minutes.
and then programs formulation, planned migration is the basic requirement for the standard of living and development of their livelihood. And this is the, you can see here the table that is climate migrant and non-climate migrant. There's a difference between the both of them, and I'm just skipping this, and I want to show you one case, that is Nurumia. And a father of 2 sons, he also migrated from Borishal districts, and he had a depressing experience and affected by cyclone occurred by Mahashan in 2013, and after that he migrated to the city. And after that, the situation of the city slum is not good because of the high price, and because of their he is sick, and her wife also sick and also operation to remove her uterus. And this is the another case study about Shahada Begum, and she also migrated from Mehidiganj, and they were affected by river erosion, and they also lost their house and paddy land. This is also one of the unfortunate story of about the river erosion. And I'm going to the discussion that migration is a natural process where surplus manpower from the rural sector moved and contribute in the urban industrial growth. Before migration, the person migrate had a rural work which might have very low productivity or in occupation. A job opportunity increased after the migration, and it influenced people to take the risk of it. They were unable to take various preventive measures before the disaster because of their economic situation. They tried to stay in their homeland as long as they could. When they were unable to live in, they started move to the city. Lack of work availability, poverty, unemployment, natural disaster like flood, cyclone, drought, sea level rise, river erosion, salinity, and other socio-cultural factors like marriage, family conflict, social
Sorry
discrimination.
to interrupt, Karishma, after your
Yeah.
time is over.
Okay, I just want to show you the recommendations.
I think it's quickly
Yeah,
just
yeah,
glance
yeah.
to the slides so that we can proceed with the next presenter.
Yeah, and this is the motivational factors for migration. And disaster happened long days time ago, but exist still in their life. And want to change the slide. Yeah, And then this is the recommendation, that's physical fitness, skill build-up training, and availability of work and social care service should create employment opportunities, and supportive adaptation measures to make planned migration of climate-induced displacement, and raise community awareness through effective social education which help to develop poor slum dwellers' livelihood, and grants in aid by GEO, disaster pre-post and on-time disaster assistance help, and disaster census program formulation with planned migration would help to improve their standard of living and development of their livelihood. And this all of to me, and thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Be with us. We'll take up questions from all others after this. All the presentations are done. We'll be with us. And we'll have question hour session. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Up your screen sharing so that I can proceed for the next presenter.